Welcome to the Hedonist Talk. Hedonism is that constant research of pleasure, friendship, gastronomy, science, art, benevolence, knowledge, beauty, and talking. The concept of this program is that I meet my guest in a place that, according to me, suits my guest. There we explore, we debate, we exchange, we discuss, we quibble, and we talk. Today we are in the Corte Suprema di Cassazione with Jing Yi. Ciao Jing Yi.
Hi Victor, hi everyone.
How are you?
I'm good.
We are in front of this building who was built exactly this year 110 years ago. So it's the Supreme Court of Justice, and it also meant for the Association of Lawyers. At the time, the minister said that it's a monument of severe beauty in accordance with the force characterizing the law. I chose this place because you are a lawyer.
Yes. So
do you agree that the shape of the building, the architecture characterizes the force of the law?
Well, it has the feeling of how to say, it's really like they want to enforce something on it, so you have the feeling of a little bit of the seriousness on it. And also, but we have, I think the visitor have to really feel it when they are nearer to the building, but you can feel the how we call in English?
The presence of the law? Force?
The force, yes. I think it's the force more to it. And I think it's amazing that the size of the building is actually, because compared to the Supreme Court of Malaysia.
Because you are from Malaysia.
Yes. Compared to, because the Supreme Court of Malaysia is a newly built building. It is not a historical building. So it is slightly smaller than this one. So it is, fascinate me is because 110 years ago already they can build this size of the Supreme Court. So how much of the usage of the court during that time, because not every cases come to Supreme Court. So that is why Supreme Court is in Malaysia, the size is like smaller compared to any other court in terms of the level. So I am actually fascinated by the size of the whole building. It's like how many cases is running in that court in this city. But I am also curious about how many districts of the cases that they are managing. Like, is it for the whole Italy, or like Rome or some other district? Because in Malaysia, our system follow the common law system. So for Supreme Court cases, it's like the whole Malaysia, we come to the court. So, so I don't know, like, because the Roman system I never studied before, so I'm not sure. Like, this can actually do a lot of things in it.
The thing I can tell you is that in Rome there is as much lawyers as in the whole country of France. This I know. Which is amazing, because it means that they have to deal a lot with the law.
Yes, yes, yes.
Do you think that fairness can be reached always?
Not all the time. Like, to me, it is, I am from the background of the Malaysia, and based on the experience that I know, it is very much not reachable, more to it. Like, to me, it's like only 20% it is like fair to it. But I have my own perception, simply because I go through the whole process. So sometimes to me, people will come to me and say that even though at the end of the day I get the justice, that's what I deserve. But the thing is, I have spent so much of time, so much of fees on the lawyers, and after few years of fighting, I get the decision which I think is fair to me. But whether the decision, when I receive the decision, it is actually still usable to me, is another issue. Like now, and 2 months later, I have this dispute, and I think I deserve the victory, or deserve something on myself. But if I still like let the law go procedure and everything, the shortest time 6 to 8 months after I got the decision, do I still need that decision is another issue. So I will see things like if you say that you get the decision on your favor, but whether practically the decision still is something that you need is another issue that I will actually look at for the people that want the process to go through. So to me, it is not so much of you will get it at the end of the day. I always say one thing, that in law, actually the final winner is the lawyer. That's the fairest thing I can see. But the thing is, it is different from another industry. For example, if you go to a doctor or a dentist or someone, you need their service because you need something. Now for lawyer, people will say that I know this, I just need lawyer to go through the procedure and stand in front of the judge to speak. But at the end of the day, whether we really treat the problem is something that it depends on the situation very much.
Sorry. Finish.
Okay, just to explain another situation that is maybe not so familiar to other people, is we call it mediation, which means that to me, always people will say mediation come to a win-win situation. So you get your money, I get to walk away with the problem. So if the court and the law system can reach this mediation stage, I think then the people actually benefited from the whole thing. Yeah.
What is the feeling when you win a case? What is your feeling when you win a case?
A relief. It's a relief because behind everything there are so much work to do, so much pressure, because first of all you have to face your client, because they will always ask you like how much of the percentage that I will win and things like that. And then we have to face the pressure of the work, like you need to submit your document to the court, the pressure of the opponent lawyer, because they might come in with some cunning thing to you and maybe threaten you or things like that, not a fair game sometimes. And then at last is the pressure from the judge, he or her, because you know, like this court, you don't know how many judges is working there. Like 1 year, you might have 5 different judges, and you don't know what kind of attitude or character is that judge. So at the end of the day, to me, the whole thing is a game of a human being. Behind it, we have a set of law that govern how the game is going to run. But yet, because humans are involved, so there are a lot of people that doesn't follow the rules of the game, and you have to deal with it. And in front of it, they will tell the judge that, oh no, this is, I'm just doing this, it doesn't go anywhere. Or the judge don't even bother, like what's behind everything. You prepare those documents, you come to me, and I just see whatever in front of me. And then also, all this, it involves the emotion of your client. Now I can ignore the emotion of the opponent lawyer, but I need to take care of the emotion of the judge, because maybe in that morning he has a fight with the husband or the wife. He didn't get a good sleep because the children is sick, and even they themselves can be sick. So we have to deal with all this to come to an end. Now also, like for example, if I get a favorable decision, it doesn't end there actually, practically, because then the next thing is whether the people will pay you the money to your client on time. That's number one. And if I'm dealing with the divorce matter, whether both parties will follow the rules, like for example, the access to the children, whether the husband will pay money to the wife, all these come later. So the problem doesn't stop where I say, oh, I got the victory, I win the case and things like that. So because I take all this into consideration, and then the life become a little bit miserable. Now otherwise, some lawyers, they are really those that only stand in front of the court and they just do the argument. They will say, no, my story ends when I win the case. Everything is reported in the journal. My name is recorded there. I'm a lawyer that win the case. Yeah, so I get something that I want for my career. But myself, I have been through like, you come to me and you tell me you win the case, but I couldn't get the money. How are you going to be responsible for all this? So it's another type of perspective how you see the winning at the end of the day. Yeah.
You are doing a job which is extremely inside the real life, because you deal with everyday people, everyday situation, difficult situation. What is your way to escape this at some point, like at night? Can you dream after? Because it's very hard to escape the. Is it hard for you? Can you escape?
Okay. I have this similar question. Like for example, people will ask that you have been doing divorce cases for so many years. Mm-hmm. Are you phobia of marriage? Similar question. I'm not. The thing is, and I'm not saying that because because of my job, I see so many ugly phenomena in human being, but humans are still nice and kind and beautiful. How am I have this perception? I don't know. It comes very naturally. I take my cases as a lesson to myself. Just like you watch a movie, you watch a drama, or you read a book, there's a lesson behind every story, and you take the lesson to your life, and you don't try not to do the mistake of other people. We try, but sometimes we can't avoid, you know. Because in reality, we have our own life to go through. There are something I could be very stupid on it, like I do mistake like here and there. So, but for those things that I've seen before, I will take it as something I try not to involve in those mistakes if I can. Yeah.
So you have a balance between work and personal
kind
life.
Of like if physically, how I like clean. Mm-hmm. Do the balance on the stress and the mindset and everything is I actually started yoga practice on the first month of my practice as a lawyer. So every time I feel that I can't do it anymore, I will go on my mat and I start the practice. So the good thing about it is I don't know about other exercises, maybe it has the same effect, is that it brings you focus on the moment that you are on the mat. Because there are some action like you are stretching and you are doing balancing. Once you lost your mind, you lost the balance. Once that day your mind is not on your body, you can't stretch the muscle to its maximum level. I try it like, for example, a very simple balancing movement today that I've been doing like for 12 years of yoga. If I'm thinking of something else during that pose, I lost my balance, I'll fall. That's very, very classical example of something that it's really, the mind is playing the role of the whole thing. So I think we can control to a certain extent that when I'm at work, I need to be focused on this. But when I walk out to it, I can actually focus on another thing. That's not so difficult for a human to do it, I think, to me. And also, it's very lucky that I have chosen an environment of working that is very good as a beginning of my career. I have a bunch of co-workers which we can actually do playing and work on a balanced level. So once we are off, then we live our life. Yeah, so otherwise, if you lost the balance, I think there are recently, like when I connect back to my friends in Malaysia, they told me that they started to have cases. Now before, when I was still in Malaysia, there are cases of lawyers dying of sudden heart attack, maybe young age or something. But now the suicide scenario has actually expanded to professional like lawyers. Yeah, so before this, we suffer a lot of depression, we know. So it only affects the life, like you might get stroke, heart attack, this kind of disease, you know, but you can still hang on there. But of course, like mentally you are still strong, but you are just having some disease on your body. But if you come to a depression towards the suicide situation, then I think it is something that the world have to look at it. But 2 years ago, we call Lawyer Association in Malaysia is called Bar Council. Okay, the Bar Council has actually started some activities to reduce the stress and look into mental health of the lawyers, which is something that people have been ignoring. And it's like, I think you have heard before, for our profession, it's actually my boss who invented to say that when the client walk into the office, our purpose is for them to leave their problem in the office to the lawyers and they walk out freely. So that's why they pay us. So then, of course, being a responsible person, you will take that sentence as you're responsible to try to tell them to solve the problem as much as you can. But actually, it's not my problem, it's their problem. But they have this misconception like, now I hire you, you should be taking all my problems away. But I can't solve everything for you at the end of the day. Also, like they will have like throwing the emotions because they are in a deep shit. So they will throw the emotion to you simply because they thought that maybe it's not intentionally. They just met you and we ask about what's happening and they start to throw you the emotion. We got to be very understanding on that sense. So we take up a lot of negative emotions from people. That's another issue on how are you going to have a balance between them and yourself. Yeah. So to me, that's another lesson that everyone should learn, but not everyone realizes it now.
We're speaking about relation because you speak about your coworkers. If you meet an alien, what do you say to the alien? What the first sentence you would say?
How are you?
You would prefer to live underwater, on Earth, or in space?
Space.
If you have to choose between past, present, and future.
Where do I prefer?
Yes.
Present.
Present?
Do you want to know why?
Yes.
Okay, the past I can't change it. The future I can create it, but yet a lot of things are not under my control maybe. So the only thing that I can control is the present. So then that's why I chose the present. I think that's why I think.
The thing that impresses me with you is that you are always a positive person, that you don't say negative things. And it's very important. How did you learn to do this? Because it's super important, I think, to have always a positive and accurate look at things.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I do a lot of meditation. Like I have shared, when I don't know about anything and just bluntly started my yoga, we have this practice. At the end of the yoga session, after I don't know whether you attend any classes before. Usually formal classes you start with to cool down yourself, and then you do all sorts of actions and everything, and then about 5 minutes or 8 minutes before, then the teacher will ask you to cool down again. After the cooling, now you go back to the normal, and then we will have this meditation to raise your hand like you are holding, you embrace the universe with love. And then we put our palms in front of our forehead for wisdom. That's a prayer for wisdom. And we put in front of mouth for good words. And then in front of your heart for love, peace, and the life and things like that. So since the first day I started, when I don't know anything about meditation or whatsoever, that's what we do at least once a week. So then maybe that influences me. And also another thing is because after some time I started to realize that I have been pouring with the negative things to me because of my profession, and I don't want people to feel the same like me, like what I have gone through, I have experienced. No one owe you anything. So I have to take this because I am being paid to listen to them. I get something reward, you know. So I cannot complain, but yet I need to learn the skill to stop and also to protect myself from all this negative thing. That's my job. That's my job. But the people around me do not owe me anything to get those negative things from me. Everyone deserves a good and positive life and a laughter in their daily living. So, and then the next thing that comes to me is that, would you prefer to see people around you, like working with you, and also your friends, your family, smile and laugh happily, or you want them to come to you and always complain and cry? If you want that thing, you give out first, then it comes back to you, the same thing. So that's how I think something that I learned in the life is a philosophy that I slowly developed. Yeah, so I think it's very simple. Eventually, after some time, I think you have also heard of the word that what you want, you give first, and then it returns back to you. So it's the same that I have been slowly doing, but also it goes back to the root of the thing is that I have a very good group of workers, and the thing that I can start also is the similar is I treat my co-workers as my colleague, everyone. Although I'm the leader, but I don't know any, like I have the thing that I don't know, so we work together. Problems come, we can't solve it, but we have to face it together. So no one has the degree of you are better or you are worse, because we are all working together. So if you are working together, you share the problem together, and then you bring the happiness together. I think that's how I want my people who work with me to be happy. That is why I don't spread the negative things around.
Well, thank you, Jing Yi, for all these words. Usually I end the program by saying a proverb, but today I don't think we need, because you taught us very good lessons of life.
Thank you.
So
it's a very good sharing.
Nothing needed more. So just the best to you.
All the best to the podcast as well. I hope one day we can work together again.
Thank you
Let
so
me
much.
try to do something in English.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Okay.